The old man frowned as he hung the small silver bells on the spruce tree in the courtyard just outside his bedroom window. He was tired of Christmas already, and it had only just started. He could see his own weary reflection in each bell as he attached it carefully to the branch. He was looking at a man who had seen many Christmas pasts, believing there were no more surprises. It was always the same every year. Just a lot of commercial hype, people buying each other gifts that nobody really wanted or needed, singing songs about peace and joy that felt so flat and unimportant with all the suffering in today's world. These bells were the only decorations that he cared to bring out each year, remembering his poor childhood so very long ago. Sighing deeply as he hung the last bell, then he went back into his house, walked upstairs and lay down on his bed and closed his eyes. Just below the courtyard, perched on a hawthorn bush, a little bird had been listening to the unfamiliar sound of the wind tinkling the bells. She wasn't supposed to be here at all. She was supposed to be flying south to find a warmer spot for the winter. But she liked this garden. If she made it through the winter or froze, well, it was no concern of anyone but herself. She was as free as a bird. Suddenly, this made her feel very, very sad. The little bird suddenly noticed that the sound had stopped, so she flew down to the fence. She wanted to find out what had been making those beautiful sounds. A little green tree was growing in a pot. Hanging from its branches were small shining objects that were ringing lightly with each breeze. She hopped closer and saw her reflection in each shining bell. Being a naturally curious bird, she began to hop from one branch to another, touching her beak to the beak of her reflection in each shining bell. Each time she did this, a beautiful sound came out, a clear, soft sound that drifted on the breeze. For the first time in many weeks, the little bird felt warm inside. Lying on his bed, half asleep, the old man suddenly realized the bells were making a different sound. It wasn't the sound of the bells on his tree when the wind would catch them. This was more of a rhythmic ping, 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 and then a slight change of sound, a doing, doing, doing. It was as if someone was trying to play a tune on the little bells. Curiously, the old man looked out of his window. At first he couldn't see anything different. Then he noticed a very small bird pecking at one of the bells. The small bird moved to a different bell and started to peck again. It was almost like a song. After a little while, the bird flew away. The old man began to wonder why the little bird was still here, when it was so much warmer in the south. He wondered whether the little bird was getting enough to eat. He went to the kitchen and took some old bread and placed it in a shallow bowl. Then he filled another small bowl with peanuts. He knew peanuts were good for the birds in the winter. He placed the food out in the courtyard near the little tree. The old man then went into his house and forgot about the little bird. Each day the little bird came and made the bells ring with a beautiful sound. Each day the old man put fresh food and water by the tree for the little bird. Then one night a sudden storm blew in from the north, and there was a hard frost. When the old man went out in the morning, he found the little bird lying on the ground. He bent down and picked her up in his warm hands. He took her into the house, sat down and tried to warm her little body between his fingers. He stroked the little bird's head with his warm thumbs and spoke out loud. "Don't leave me, my little bellbird. You were free to fly away, and yet you stayed. and gave hope to a lonely old man. Tears trickled down his cheeks, and he felt stupid. But then the little bird began to move, kicking her tiny feet and moving her head. She looked up at the old man, but did not seem frightened at all. She seemed content to absorb the life and warmth of his hands. The little bird couldn't understand the words the old man spoke, but she felt the love he gave her. The old man also felt his love for the little bird. You see, we are never as free as a bird. We all need somebody, even if it's only a little Christmas bellbird.